Yo, what is up YouTube? Fury here, bringing us a brand new video, and in today's video I got some more tips and tricks if you guys are playing the new Infinity Gauntlet game mode, playing as Thanos and things of that such. Now I've been really enjoying this game mode, really one of my favorite game modes that they've implemented into the game. Now it's obviously a mixture of Blitz, and you get the new Thanos character if you do pick up the Infinity Gauntlet, but we got some more information of like how to play as Thanos and stuff like that, basically how to survive as Thanos, make sure you don't take as much damage, getting you the most amount of kills in a game. But before we get into today's video, if you guys do enjoy, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Don't forget to turn on those post notifications, that way you get notified every time I go live or post a new video. And if you get first like on any of my videos, make sure you send me a Twitter image. I'll hit you guys back with that follow. And with that said, let's get right into today's video. If you guys are interested in winning some free V-Bucks, we are currently giving away 6,000 V-Bucks to you guys. All you got to do to enter is like the video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications, as well as follow the Gleam link in the description down below. There's going to be 6 winners, 1,000 V-Bucks each. Good luck to everyone. So with this new Infinity Gauntlet game mode that came into the game, I've been playing this game mode more than I have been playing solos, duos, or squads. Now obviously you can only play this game mode as a solo, you know, you run in a solo team, so you're only going to be doing this by yourself. So I've been really enjoying this game mode. It's something different, something new to the game that we haven't seen yet. You know, obviously turning into Thanos is really cool, and you know, becoming a character where you could just jump around, start punching everybody is really fun to do. So I've been really enjoying this game mode. Now there has been some things that I've been figuring out as playing as Thanos or going against and being able to kill him. Now when this game mode first dropped, Thanos had 300 shield and 700 HP, but they ended up dropping that, so you get 200 shield and 800 HP, and I figured this one's a lot better because once they dropped it, he was a little bit more easier to kill. That 200 shield wasn't really too much of an issue to take down, especially when you got multiple people shooting at you, but the 300 shield, I did notice that was a little bit overpowered, I'd say. But there has been a few things I've been doing in game to make me survive a little bit more as Thanos, especially after this little update for him. So because you can't really build or do anything like that with Thanos, being able to take cover behind natural, you know, cover that's in the game already, some natural terrain and stuff like that is very important. Basically to know the map surroundings that you're around as Thanos is really good, because you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're getting shot at by multiple guys, especially if you're charging up a jump, or you know you're shooting your laser, because that laser does have a timer and so does that jump, so it does take some time. You got some like leeway kinda, I mean, you're gonna be getting shot at quite a bit once you're using these abilities. That way you gotta make sure you know you're using them at the appropriate time. Now I've been finding, especially with the gameplay that you guys are watching in the background, when you're ending at Wailing Woods or anything with a bunch of trees, honestly sitting on the top of the trees is a very good idea. I just figured this out because a lot of people don't expect you to be in the tree as Thanos, especially in Wailing Woods. There are a bunch of trees, so people might assume you're behind a tree, but being on top of the tree is a really good spot, especially because you can see where most of the people are around you, especially if they're down below or on the, you know, side mountains. You can, you know, you're able to get an eye on them. Most of them don't expect you to be up there, so they're not going to really be paying attention up there, so you end up just targeting single players as you see them. So I think it's a definitely good idea to take on top of your, you know, terrain, especially in Wailing Woods when you're on top of the, you know, trees, or if you're by mountains, make sure you get to the top of the mountain. That way you guys have some higher leverage on them, just so you know where all the enemies are and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about people coming up behind you. Now that is one thing that you do have to be cautious about, because you can't build. You gotta, you know, hear if somebody's building up to you, and then if you do hear them, you just jump out of the way, either jump away or try to kill them right in front of you. Now personally, I'm not a big fan of the laser that comes with Thanos. Now I have used it a few times in this gameplay, but it's not something that I generally go for. Now usually I'll just jump towards the enemy and make sure that I start punching them, or get really close enough to start punching them, because that laser does take a good amount of time just sitting there shooting. So you're gonna be getting shot at, especially if people are paying attention to the map or where you're at. If you hear you shooting at somebody, they're obviously gonna come up behind you, start shooting you. As well, if you do jump, I don't recommend using the laser, because you're gonna be up in the air and that laser is gonna take some time. You're literally just gonna be sitting there like a, you know, sitting duck. So you're obviously going to get shot at, especially in the air. A lot of people have some visuals on you, so I definitely don't recommend using the laser in the air either. But if you are on the ground and you are getting shot at by a good amount, you know, by that one guy, say if you are in a 1v1 and you're getting some good amount of damage on you, I definitely recommend using the laser just to get him to stop and build. But other than that, if you do, you know, notice that there are some people around you more than that one guy you're, you know, targeting, I don't recommend using that laser at all. Now it is a really good idea, like I said, to stop stop them from stop them from shooting at you. That's why one reason I will use a laser is just to get them to build, and that way it'll give you enough time to where you can stop shooting the laser, or the laser time will run out, and then you can end up rushing them and punching them. So I definitely don't recommend using the laser if you know your surroundings, know how many people are around you, in a general idea. You're obviously not going to know where they're at, but if you are getting shot at by multiple locations, I don't recommend using that laser at all. Also, another thing you'll see in Wailing Woods here, now I do get shot at and I don't know where the guys are at. Say if I do get shot at and I have no idea where it's coming from or whatever, and I do take some shots, I obviously have that 200 shield just to get an idea of where they're at, and then hide behind a tree and use your natural surroundings to cover until you find out where they're at, and then from there you can jump to them and start punching them that way. So I definitely think it's a good idea to make sure you're always around something that you can hide behind. If you are in the open, you're probably going to get shot at quite a bit, especially if you are charging up your jump or using your laser. So I don't recommend being in the open too much as Thanos, just because you can't build when you get shot at. So being able to hide behind something near you is a really good idea, just to make sure you do survive as long as you can. Now, as well as that, Thanos, I don't recommend picking up his gauntlet until you are I'd say like top 10, top 15, because you do take a good amount of damage getting from there to your last one alive, obviously. But if you do happen to pick it up right off like the rip, say like there's 50 people left, I definitely recommend playing it slow. That way a good amount of people start dying off, and you'll have a higher chance of making it to the end, because the longer that you have Thanos for, the more damage you're going to obviously be taken to your health, and you don't want that, especially if you are trying to win. Obviously I don't assume you're not going to try to win, but if you are going for the win, you definitely don't want to be taking too many shots. You don't want to be engaging too many people unless you are going for a really high kill game. Then I could assume to rush everybody you see. But if you do pick it up late game, say if there are or early game I should say, and there's like 50 plus people left, I'd say take it slow, just to make sure that a good amount of people die off. That way you can end up winning the game in the end, and you don't take as much damage. And if you do pick it up early, and say that the final zone is in Wailing Woods, again, sitting on top of those trees is a really good idea that I figured out, or just sitting on those surrounding mountains. Getting that higher ground is obviously going to benefit you, just so you know where everybody is, and you're not going to be surprised at when you're getting shot at. So higher ground is always a good idea. Even if you're not as Thanos, the higher ground is better, just because you can shoot down at Thanos or whatever, or another enemy coming at you. So obviously the higher ground is the best option for either situation. Now, after the slight nerf to Thanos, I found it a little bit more easier to rush Thanos if you are trying to get the gauntlet. It's a little bit easier to kill him now, so he's not as intimidating. But I definitely recommend waiting until his health's a little bit lower. Even if he has full shield, I'd say 500 HP is a good amount where you can start getting shots down at him, especially if you are at a farther distance. As many shots as you can get into him is a really good idea, no matter how far you are. Any damage that he gets taken is a really good outcome in you winning the gunfight, especially if he does, like I say, use his laser, say in the sky. You can just sit there aiming at his head. You'll give him a lot of damage taken out. So it's a really good idea to start shooting at a good distance. Don't wait until he gets up close. If he does, I say just use a shotgun, switch to attack SMG, or just use a scar. A lot of scars spawn in this game mode just because it is a rushed game mode. You're going to be getting a lot more loot than you usually do. So using a scar is a really good idea, especially to hit those headshots. You're going to be doing like 70 damage up close. It's really good and a really way to melt him down. Now, I've also found that LMGs work really well, just because you're getting a bunch of shots down. Regardless how far away he is, you have a bunch of bullets, so as many as you can get into him before he does get to you is a really good idea. So as many shots as you can get down. Once he gets close, he'll obviously not have too much HP, and you can just end up finishing him off there. And especially because if he does rush you, some other people might third party, and because you're closer to the Infinity Gauntlet, you're obviously going to get it over the other guys. Now, you do have to pay attention to how much HP you have in the end, say if you do kill Thanos, because once you're picking up the Infinity Gauntlet, you can get shots taken at you, and you can end up dying picking it up. Now, that's happened a few times to me, so you obviously want to make sure that there's not too many people around you and your HP isn't too low. That way you can pick it up, and you can obviously start falling from the sky as Thanos. But that'll basically do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully some of these tips helped you guys kill Thanos, play as Thanos, get more kills as Thanos, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this game mode. I've been really enjoying it. I've been kind of laying off the solos, squads, and duos heroes to play this game mode. I definitely think it's a really good idea, really good implementation. They really did implement this game mode really well, especially balancing it and stuff like that. They've only changed the HP once, so they've been doing really well with this. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.